hearing from yesterday. I just want to go into few solutions that I see to save the country from what it is in it. First, I want to talk about security, then international policies, then reform and change. Regarding security, we have 5 points that we need to implement in order to take Lebanon out of this chaos that is taking place. Number 1, the removal of the Palestinians from all camps in Lebanon to countries with immigration policies with the assistance of the United Nations and the Palestinian authorities. Second, the removal of all the Syrian refugees to safe zones inside Syria and with the assistance and engagement of the United Nations. Increase aids to the Lebanese security forces and international policies and the army. Total implementations of the 3 important UN Security Council's resolutions 1559, 1680, and 1701, because these resolutions are صك ملكية بإيد الشعب اللبناني. And to seal this security situation in the country, I think we should build a wall between the Syrian, Lebanese, and the Israeli borders with 2 access, one at Al-Masna and one at La Arida North exit, and total implementation of the United Security Council Resolution 1680, which is a diplomatic agreement of the presentations between Lebanon, presentations between Lebanon and Syria. This is on the security level. On the international policies, of course, we want to push for the neutrality for Lebanon. But the neutrality for Lebanon doesn't come from non-governmental officials. It should come from a strong Lebanese government who goes to the United Nations and asks for this policy to be implemented. It doesn't come, with all due respect to the patriarch and all the people who are rallying about it. It should come from a Lebanese government that is free, independent, and is able to push for this idea. Anyway, I also think that we should support, as Lebanese, because we are into a region where the conflict is so much into the Palestinian way of life, we should support the 2-state solution as a Lebanese strong government, and also to call for Jerusalem to be also a capital for the Palestinian people, and seek support from the international community for security and economic improvement in Lebanon. Okay, and reform and change. Total reform in all the ministries without exception. Implement the Taif Agreement in its entirety. Reform the security and judiciary apparatus. Implementation of the decentralization within all governorates. Update the Lebanese constitution for a more modern state. Reform the electoral law and give the immigrants a bigger share in political engagement. And I go further, that if we need really a strong government, we should bring all ministers from abroad to run the government of Lebanon. There are a lot of professional Lebanese who are living in New York, in Washington, in Paris, in London, who are very successful entrepreneurs who could come and run the government. I also would like to see an immigrant to be a prime minister. This is the only way out for a strong government in Lebanon. And regarding the Saura and the lady from Boston, she was talking about parties, and I want to conclude with this. I see the same thing. I shouldn't be afraid from political parties. Democracy, all the democratic forms of government are based on different parties. And we should support different parties because they could criticize each other for the benefit of the Lebanese people. Unfortunately, in Lebanon, this is not happening. So therefore, we shouldn't be afraid. And the slogan, كلٌ يعني كلٌ, it shouldn't be on the forefront of the Saura. And regarding the Saura, my dear friends in the Saura, I tell them, you guys need to have a leadership committee, al alili, minimum, so you can move forward with a strong agenda that would save the country with your help and with all those parties that think like us for a free, independent, and secure Lebanon. And thank you very much.
شكرا لسعادة السفير وليد معلوف. نحن بنرجع لكم ببيروت هلا.